No, but it's true, right? And also because chess is hard to understand, but we want it to be relatable. Everything you just said, Robert, is not only complete information, but it's also something we feel like we need to do to make it understand, right? So it's an exhausting process.
Yeah.
When you have the last name I do, you're born into this.
You were born into this.
You have no choice in the matter. No, and you got to make it understandable to newer players, but also engaging for like a GM who's going to be watching the coverage. So the range of people that you have to appeal to is super, super vast. And, I really struggled with this when I first started comedy. And it's always a journey. Like sometimes I say something and I'm like, yeah, thinking back, somebody who's maybe newer to the game had no chance of understanding what I just said. And, that keeps the feedback loop going. But sometimes the body language makes it very clear how the game is going to end if you've never seen a chessboard.
Yeah.
And this king's gonna keep going.
King A5, bishop C6.
That king was on G1. It went around on the first rank, and then now it's going up the first file.
No. That's all I'm going to say on the matter.
Is that to the think or the hope, or both?
Danya's not a fan of Fisher Random.
No, I'm not at all.
Why?
I love Fisher Random.
Me too.
I don't like it.
What's funny is a lot of players are very split on this.
Okay, well, I could talk about this for a long time, but the long and the short of it is there's two things I'd point out. The first is I feel like chess itself is still an incredibly rich game, and I feel like it is overdoing it to change the game so drastically. Like, I feel like if you really, really wanted variants of chess, you could make more organic changes, such as like no castling chess is interesting, but I'm still not even a big fan of that. And the second thing I'd say is that I think there is an inherent, maybe I'm being a gatekeeper or like I'm being too old-fashioned, but I feel like there's a certain amount of chess beauty that inherently stems from the arrangement of the pieces. That produces tactics and openings that lend the game the sort of aesthetic appeal that it has. And when I play Fisher Random, I always find that I'm just less into the tactics that arise. I feel like less beautiful ideas arise when you randomly shuffle the starting position of the pieces. I'm not saying it doesn't have a place to exist.
Yep, we have a resignation, by the way.
But I don't like it.
That's a good question. What is Fisher Random? Someone give that guy a link in chat so that he can see exactly what Danya just went on a rant about. It's also referred to as Chess 960 on chess.com. I think Robert would have some counter arguments as to the pros of Fisher Random, but we're not going to get into it right now because we don't need to. We have a victory for Ding Liren. Jan-Krzysztof resigns because, as we said, the king made a journey. Let's remind the path of that.
It didn't stop believing, Danny.
Didn't stop believing, no matter what. And eventually the king arrived at the final destination, which was we're gonna eventually kick this for rook. And as we kept saying, at some point you will see this diagonal.
Ding was smiling.
Unguardable, and the A8 queen will arrive. So
yeah, Ding was smiling.
He was happy.